Going live again. All right, everyone. Hello, welcome back. We are live with Miss Cutie Bug, Cutie Ladybug. She is amazing. She's good. She's perfect. She's amazing. I already said amazing, but she really is. She's really, really good. Excuse me. Lady's doing exceptionally well. She has spent almost all afternoon in the transport container, just doing so well. I'm sorry we're not giving you guys much notice before starting these. Just kind of taking advantage of an opportunity when it presents itself. And but yeah, things are going better than we could ever have anticipated. Lady's nice and calm. She's really cooperative. She has been spending most of the day in the transport container. Our veterinarian arrived today, so she's been checking out Lady to make sure, just to see where she is and how she looks. We've had some discussions about what we want to do. There's a photo that I'll send back to Kat soon of photos taken from behind Lady when she was fully enclosed in the transport container with the gate all the way closed. We did it a few times today. One time is when she had a bunch of produce with her in the front of the container with one of her caregivers, and then we did it again just recently, and all she had was a little bit of hay. Really not that interested in eating, and she actually had her head turned toward me, so she watched as I closed the door, and she did great. She did really, really well. Trish and I had been passing the strap back and forth, and underneath her and letting it touch her belly a little bit. So the safety strap, the strap that we talked about before, possibly putting underneath her to help her rest her body if she wants to, get a little bit of weight off her feet if she wants to rest into the strap. We've done some experiments with that, and she was quite tolerant. She did play with it. She did pull it out a couple of times, but that's totally fine. We would expect her to investigate a little bit more. Again, we love the little spunky attitude. We like the spry. We like the inquisitiveness and curiosity. So all those are good signs. And for her to pull the strap out, she did get a little frustrated at one time and started kind of putting her head over the gate, but not too aggressive, not too substantial. And one of the greatest things is when she was a little frustrated, she just was rattling the gate a little bit. She wasn't trying to kick out at us or trying to show any sort of, aggressive or forceful action towards us. So that's obviously a good sign. Let us know that she is being frustrated, but she's not acting out aggressively right away. It's kind of giving us not a warning necessarily, but expression of discomfort. So we just listened to that. We continued what we were doing a little bit, and then we carried on, pulled the strap back out, and let her be. So again, continuing with the give and take, continuing with the back and forth of experimentation, and let's try this, and then give her a little bit of space, and try to close the door, and then give her a little space. And she's been great. She's been amazing. She's been perfect. And she's really cute, but you guys already know that. Yeah, she's definitely stereotyping much less. She's definitely much more preoccupied, much more engaged with what's going on around her, just more stimulation, more activity, listening, watching, playing. She's still playing with the locks, testing everything out. We had all the doors open, so she's reaching her trunk through and grabbing some sand, and she still does stereotype, which she might do it now. It's getting close to her normal dinner time, which I don't think she's going to be very hungry because we've been giving her a lot of food today, but she's doing really well. We are, I think, 2 hours. I have no idea what time it is. Nikki, you said, is she able to dust at all? When she's in the transport container, no, there's not a lot of dirt and dust in there because it gets really nasty fast during transport. But she's been able to stick her trunk out through the doors and grab some of the sand. And then there's some dusting piles here and a lot of dirt in her enclosure that she does dust on and play with. You can see there's a lot of sand on her back. She has some sand piles has some sand piles in the barn that she lays on. She disturbs them pretty quickly. She dismantles them pretty quickly, but she does have some there. About the sling, the little strap, that's just in case she gets tired and wants to take some of the weight off her feet. She'll be able to rest her chest down into it and then take some pressure off her front feet so she can't lay down in transport. We'll see how it goes. We're not sure if we're going to use it right away. She's pretty strong. She's pretty fit. So aside from the issues with her feet, she looks pretty good. We don't have blood work. We don't have urine tests. We don't have anything else. We're just doing a general assessment. She looks pretty good. So for the sling, we're not sure if we're going to do it right away. There's going to be a lot of activity right away with the crate moving to put it up on the transport the transport truck when we're ready to go. And with that, sometimes they want to turn around and look, and it may be a little uncomfortable to have the strap on right then. So we're thinking about just doing it later. Because she's been so tolerant of it, we'll probably just end up doing it at a later time. Tomorrow, what I'll try to do is have somebody hold the phone when we do a live video of us doing that experimentation with the strap, so you can see a little bit more. Hi Cheryl. Sarah just said she's from California. She's a new fan here, so happy to have found you. Cheryl, thank you so much for joining us. I think we have a lot of new friends, and we're excited to have you guys join us too. It's just an honor to be able to do this, to be able to help these elephants, to give them a new life, and anywhere and anyone that we can share it with, the nuances, the details, the joys, and even the sadness of when these elephants do come to the sanctuary and eventually they do pass away, as all animals and all beings do. Just to share that with our family and the network of the Sanctuary Network. You guys are the ones that make all this possible. You guys are the ones that allow us to do this beautiful work, and we're honored to share every moment that we can with you. We have another new California, Tracy. So for those of you who are new, you will find that our family of supporters and followers are pretty remarkable. So if you have any questions or comments, we'll try to get to them as quickly as possible. But in the meantime, don't hesitate to ask questions if you have any doubts. We have lots of folks that are following along and have known us from the beginning, so they're going to be happy to share some details with you guys. So when we get to the sanctuary in Mato Grosso, she'll be greeted by 3 other elephants, Hana, Ramba, and Maya. Ramba just arrived about 30 days ago, which many of you know, a little more than 30 days ago now, and she's doing exceptionally well. And somebody just asked, well, does she spend the night out with the other elephants? And yes, absolutely. Once she acclimates and when her behavior dictates that she's ready to be with the other elephants, without a doubt, she'll be allowed in with everybody else. And if that means that she wants to stay out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the habitat with the other elephants, that's totally fine. It's going to be up to them. Sorry, I'm not catching all these comments. I see some of you responding to some questions. I'm sorry I'm not catching all of them, but I appreciate your response. Colby just asked if there's been any vocalization. She did rumble a little bit yesterday, but she doesn't do much else at this point. She's a little bit closed off. You see a lot of changes in her facial expressions. She'll have sometimes, Kat was talking about it in some of the photos, is like, I sent one photo, I think on the end of the second day, and she said, wow, she looks so much different, and her facial expressions do change a lot, from a little bit of, not frustration, but not total comfort either, and not from the pain. It's from a comfort with the stimulation, a comfort with who's around, and other times she's much softer, much brighter eyes. So it does change a lot with vocalizations. Once she gets settled in, once she has other elephants, sorry, I'm laughing because I saw a dinosaur comment. once she does settle in more, I'm sure we'll see more vocalizations. Sarah just said that background noise is as bad as the dinosaur noise. I will tell you that no, it's not. This is lovely. For those of you that don't know, when we moved Ramba, they had a Jurassic Park theme park behind where Ramba's exhibit was in Chile, and it was so invasive and obnoxious and loud, and just you couldn't even think at the end of the day, and you didn't realize how invasive it was until they shut it off, and you just had this sigh of relief. Here it's not so bad. It's a Saturday afternoon. There's a community right across the way. There's been some soccer games happening, so there's a lot of celebrations, but this is much more tolerable than what we saw down with that we saw with Ramba. Somebody said she really likes the box. Yeah, everyone's been amazed. I've had somebody from the mayor's office come by today. She's like, I was here yesterday, she was inside, and I'm here today, she's inside. She's always been, she seems to be in there most of the time, so it's really quite fascinating. You can actually see her trunk coming up over the door in the front. Let me see if I can zoom in. Oh, she moved it. I'm gonna go around to the front side. She's gone back in, so let's go back. Somebody just said, how is Lady? She is awesome. She's doing really well. She's just doing exceptionally well. Very happy to see. Exploring, check things out contently, eating a little bit, hanging out a little bit. So right now we have the doors open, or one of the doors open. That was just so she can explore a little bit more. She likes playing with the lock in the front doors. Again, just anything that's a little bit entertaining that she can check out, see if she can open any gates, see if she can unlock any locks. I'm very curious, which is, again, is great. We love the spunky, we love the little mischievous attitude. We think it's great. There's still a lot of her true self in there, so we're going to be interested to see how that evolves at the sanctuary. But she's pretty spunky, she's cute, she's pretty lively, but at the same time there's a lot of gentle moments and very sweet moments as well. And the nose never stops, especially with this little lady. That nose is everywhere. So I'm going to go back and look for a question that I saw a response to. I'm curious what the question is. Oh, somebody asked, what is the what will the reaction be when the girls back home receive a new resident, a new friend? You never know. You never really know what the reaction is going to be. Sometimes it depends on how Lady is when she comes out. Is she going to be passive? Is she going to be a little demonstrative? Is she going to be concerned? We don't know. I expected it all to go really well. I expected it to be relatively passive, but you just never know. So you just take it one step at a time. As we said on other transports, trying to remove expectations. When we have expectations, sometimes it can be overwhelming. For every, almost like the elephants think it must be perfect. It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be whatever the process is will be perfect. Even if that means that Lady says that she needs a little bit of time before adapting to the other elephants if she's not ready, or if it's overwhelming, that's fine. That's totally okay. So whatever the process is, it works. So we just try not to put too much expectation and just let it evolve as it's supposed to. The same with going in the transport container. Of course, this has been a near perfect scenario. She's been exceptional. But if she didn't go in the transport container, no big deal. It's just part of the process. We just adapt to what she's exhibiting, adapt to what she's, what's comfortable and what's not comfortable for her, and don't put too much pressure or expectation on it. It's not easy to do. It's much easier to say than it is to do. Even when we try to say, let's not have expectations, we still want it to go well, but we just try not to get too far ahead of ourselves with all that. Sally wants to know, will they be able to see the documentaries that are being filmed? Claire?
Yes.
Claire keeps telling me soon, but it feels like Claire is now from Brazil. Soon has no definition, so maybe in Brazil.
We're gonna get something out before the end of the year, but not the documentary.
Okay, Claire just said they're going to have something out before the end of the year, but it's not going to be the documentary.
But it's going to be a piece that shows an overview of the trip and something that will kind of tell a bit about the sanctuary.
Okay, Claire just said, and I quote, by the end of the year, they will have something that will be an overview of the transport of elephants and a little bit of the history of the sanctuary, about the sanctuary, and it will be out before the end of this year, 2019.
25. No.
So
2019.
we're gonna hold Claire to this. If we don't have a video for you guys by the end of December, you are all going to get Claire's personal cell phone number, and you guys can harass her until she does put something out for you. They have hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of video to go
If
through.
anyone wants to go through footage with me, I'm taking volunteers. Just
I'm
kidding.
gonna say that.
Tell them absolutely, I can do that.
Okay, somebody just asked, our company is helping this time with the transport. Actually, this transport was paid for through donations from supporters of Global Sanctuary for Elephants. You guys were amazing, beyond repair, beyond comparison. It was absolutely incredible. We set a goal for $35,000, and within 24 hours, you guys had met that goal. So we actually didn't need to ask for companies. Porto Seguro was able to donate the transport last time, the truck drivers. They were not able to do it this time. It's a busy time of year for them, end of the year, Christmas coming up. They were not able to, but thanks to the tremendous support through Global Sanctuary for Elephants Facebook, all the money was raised in record time. It was really amazing. Jean said, no pressure, Claire. I'm not going to tell Claire no pressure. The pressure's on, Claire. The pressure's on.
Tell them I'm motivated to get it out before the end of the year. I want to be in your good graces.
Okay. Claire says, everyone's afraid of the camera, man. Somebody just said thank you to everyone who donated. It was really, really, really remarkable. We were blown away, really blown away by the support. Deborah Moore. Hi, Deb. How are you? Let's see. She said, will you have police escort? Yes, we will. It's not going to be the same crew as last time. And actually, we're going to have 3 different crews. Again, because of end of the year stuff going on, it was a little bit more challenging to get it all set up. But we will have 3 different crews. One will be with us for 1 day, 1 crew for 2 days, and another crew for 1 day. Backseat drivers back here. Hi, sweet girl. You're a little closer. All for you, lady. All for you. Somebody said they need some trunk love. Well, just in time, there's some trunk love. Saturday afternoon fireworks. It is what it is. I'm not sure why they're so appealing to people, but I guess when you live in the middle of nowhere, you get accustomed to the quiet life. Not so quiet here. Lady's approximately 48 years old. We don't have an exact time, exact age, but approximately 48. Yes, lady is definitely smaller than the others. Tracy, we're still looking at Monday morning, if all goes well. Oh, those fireworks. Again, I'll still take it over the dinosaurs from Rumba. Absolutely, this is much better than dinosaurs. Yeah, the trunk is curious, but the trunk is not always a sweet and gentle trunk. It's curious, but she is still not totally comfortable. So she still needs more time to relax into it all. She's really, really good. Melissa just said, why do you think she likes to be in the container so much? The reality is probably just because it's something different. She has food inside, but she has a lot of food outside also. Actually, there's times that there's no food inside and she comes in and there's only food outside. So I think it's just part of exploration of something new. Inquisitive. We're all here hanging out with some of our crew. Fireworks across the way. So we're just hanging out. So I think it's just about being inquisitive, curious elephant. The crate is relatively small, so even if she does bounce back and forth a little bit, even if she does bounce it back and forth a bit, then it's not like she can tumble. It's easy for her to catch her balance. Yeah, it's easier for my camera work to be improved when I don't have so much going on. Normally here at the end of the day, it's a little bit quieter, not so much happening, and so we're able to focus a little bit more on just her and not focus on the foot soaks and other things that are going on. So in an attempt to share some of this with you, I have to balance it all out. Not always easy. No, lady weighs less. She is probably about 3,300 kilos. We don't know for sure, but that's gonna be my best guess. And let's see, she's definitely smaller than the others. You'll see, she does hold her head pretty high, but the rest of her body is quite a bit smaller. Somebody said if female elephants don't like each other, will they fight and they hurt? They can. It's not really common. Sometimes they will. Sometimes they just have a dislike for one another for whatever reason. And Winky and Delory never got along. They never liked each other from the very get-go. So it just happens. Sometimes personalities clash. They never hurt each other, but we also didn't give them an opportunity to hurt each other either. Actually, I'm gonna go around the other side. Hi Sarah, how are you? It's been a while. Sarah Everett actually volunteered at the sanctuary in Brazil. I don't know when that was, a couple years ago. She's still following along. Yeah, Lady takes it all in stride. She's all really good. She just kind of doesn't seem to let much get to her. Most elephants are that way. Lady, we're gonna go around behind you here. Okay? Coming around behind you, sweet girl. Gonna go around here one more time. Hanging out. Again, I like when she sees us going around behind her and she's watching. Again, a good sign. Earlier today, when we closed the gate, there was actually no produce, just the hay, so nothing being super enticing or preoccupy her. So she's doing really, really well. She has never had any offspring. What we know is that she was born in, somebody just said, is that shooting? No, it's not. It's fireworks. There's been a lot of football games, soccer games, so there's a lot of fireworks in celebration of soccer games. Typical Saturday afternoon. What we know about her past is that she was born in captivity and sent to South America at a young age. We don't know exactly where she was born yet. We're trying to find out that detail. She does have a cute Ellie bum. She's a good girl. Good, cute girl. Yeah, her feet are a mess. Poor girl. There's some other videos that'll show more. Her feet are really quite bad. Somebody just said, it's a great question. Is there anything that has surprised us about Lady? Not really. You know, she's really calm, which is nice. It's welcomed, but you don't always. It's not really a surprise. You know, it's not uncommon, especially with elephants that have been in captivity for so long, or in a small space with not a lot of stimulation. They're really curious. They're really inquisitive. So it's just again, something new, something enticing, something curious. So it does help to bring out their cooperation, bring out a little bit more calm and relaxation, because it is something new. We will stop every about 2 to 3 hours to check on, give her more water, more food, make sure everything's okay, give everybody a break to go to the restroom, pick up more food for ourselves. And so we in the big transport truck, there'll be a place outside of the transport container that will have hay, we'll have fresh grass, fruits, vegetables, and then we always stop along the way to get some fresh stuff, see what we see on the side of the road at various road stands, fruit stands. She's a good girl. She's very, very good. Alright guys, I'm gonna step back here. We'll go back up front, we will say goodbye, and then we're gonna start getting things wrapped up. You're a good girl, Seabug. Oh my goodness, that was me getting a warning. She still expresses frustration, which is not a surprise. It's good. You know, we want her to express what she wants. If she's not comfortable with me, she'll let me know. And that's a good sign. And you can see her eyes shifted a lot again. You know, she got that really closed eye. It didn't really do anything different than before. Trying to figure out why sometimes. We don't always know. So just gonna listen, step back. We'll continue working with her. This only happens periodically. A lot of times it's about establishing boundaries, letting us know when that she still doesn't trust yet, that she still isn't quite ready to fully open up. And the only thing we can do is just listen and say, okay, I'll take a step back, no big deal. And then we'll approach things a little bit differently. And we have seen this before with elephants, especially elephants from circus background, is they're really quick to say, you know, that's too much. They're really quick to say it's too close. You know, it's actually really, really nice to see that she's communicating instead of hiding it. She's not being manipulative with it. She's expressing it right away. But we're going to let her know also by communicating, like, you don't have to be that overt. You can be more subtle with your communication. You can be more passive with your communication. We'll still understand. Will she be aggressive with the other girls? It's impossible to say. You know, you never know what's going to happen. Somebody said, is she more aggressive when I'm doing the camera? Not really. She seems a little less tolerant, so maybe a little bit more impatient would be equivalent to that. She is, but when we're doing the camera, it's hard to focus just on her as well. So we're trying to answer questions, trying to show you guys around. So sometimes yes, sometimes no. Somebody said, which character do you think she's closest to? Which sanctuary character, which sanctuary elephant do you think she's closest to in personality? Oh, she's going to be a mix of all. She's kind of spunky, but at the same time, she's, oftentimes really passive. So it's hard to say. It's really, really hard to say. Sarah, I'm not sure I understand. You said, what happens when you're on the food truck at the sanctuary and that happens? Oh, you're talking about like when showing like aggression? Normally they don't show that type of frustration. Once they get to the sanctuary, they start learning that they can communicate more passively, that they become more relaxed. But this environment, especially with a lot of new things, a lot of new people around, they want to continue to establish boundaries. Just want to make sure that they are being heard, that they're still being listened to. It's not uncommon, but we're just going to keep listening. We're going to keep doing our thing and keep adapting and keep showing her that we're going to listen. We're going to have open communication. So we just change a little bit of what we're doing each step of the way and let her know that her opinion matters. All right, guys, I got to go. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much for everything. I'm going to have to put get the doors closed back up, get things packed up. They want us out of here right at 5 o'clock each day, so we have about 45 minutes left to finish up. And then we're going to let Miss Lady have the night to herself, and we'll see how things go tomorrow morning. We'll be back with you tomorrow. Thanks again for everything, and we will talk soon. Ciao, ciao.